Tipo, às vezes eu escuto o nome dessas cidades, né? Curitiba e Salvador. Eu estava a dizer, só que cortou isso aqui de repente, né? Tipo, you know? Às vezes é pelo Tiago Ventura, às vezes Professor Kenny e Rui Ventura também. Rui Ventura, Tiago Ventura, da Cultive. E essa moça também é de Salvador, bro. É de Curitiba. Curitiba.
Claro que a sua pele, dependendo do quanto você gosta do seu rosto marcado. Eu gosto dessa área do olho mais marcada. Tudo que é claro vai iluminar, tudo que é escuro vai afinar e contornar. Então a gente vai passar isso aqui abaixo dos olhos, no meio do nariz, aqui, só até na metade, uma bolinha, um i de ponta cabeça. Aqui no pé da galinha. Tá vendo que eu não tô mergulhando meu pincel de volta aqui dentro? Porque é suficiente. E aqui no queixo. Ah, você passa na testa? Não, porque meu cabelo fica na testa e ninguém vê. Às vezes eu esqueço até de passar base. Vou dar um tempinho pra isso aqui dar uma secadinha pra eu começar a espalhar. Eu gosto de usar esponjinha um pouquinho úmida, então é um. Agora que deu um tempinho, vou vir dando batidinhas e espalhando ela no lugar dela mesma, sem ficar levando essa esponjinha pra muito longe. Talvez o Frederico não apareça mais, porque ele tá dormindo. Mas terão outras oportunidades de eu apresentar ele para vocês. Talvez você tenha caído de paraquedas nesse vídeo, porque você viu algum vídeo meu que viralizou por conta da prótese e a maior curiosidade da sua vida atual seja o motivo de eu ser amputada. Eu vou te contar, mas eu queria começar me apresentando primeiro para você entender que eu tenho uma história, que eu sou uma pessoa e que eu não sou só uma curiosidade. Mas agora eu vou contar para vocês. Eu tive uma espécie de câncer. E aqui eu abro um adendo muito particular. Tive um nódulo muito agressivo que ainda é estudado e não tem exatamente uma definição de tumor ou câncer. Ele sempre foi tratado como câncer, porque ele é muito agressivo, até mais agressivo do que o próprio câncer, porque ele cresce muito rápido. E caso não removido da parte onde ele se instalou, ele rompe. Rompe o quê? Rompe onde ele tiver. Rompe pele, rompe músculo, rompe barriga, rompe a língua, rompe o músculo. Ele rompe, ele rasga, ele cresce. É muito parecido com aquela doença elefantíase, que conforme vai crescendo, ela vai, tipo, tomando conta do corpo. O nome da doença que eu tive se chama desmoide. Eu digo que eu tive, mas eu ainda tenho, porque é uma célula que vai morrer comigo, porém ela não tá ativa nesse momento. E por que que eu amputei? Vou ter que voltar lá no começo para explicar para vocês, porque realmente não é uma história muito simples. Eu tô passando contorno e não expliquei como é que passa, né? Eu uso aqui na maçã, aqui em volta do nariz para dar uma afinadinha e só. E também a mesma coisa, esponjinha. A diferença é que esse aqui eu não espero muito tempo secar, porque é um corretivo mais grossinho, porque ele é de pasta, de porque ele é de bastão, e aí ele é mais oleosinho, então eu gosto de assentar mais rápido. Fui atropelada quando eu tinha 8 anos de idade por um cara bêbado dirigindo uma bicicleta. E seria absurdamente cômico se não fosse trágico. O ponto é que, a partir desse acidente, o meu quadril começou a inchar muito, muito mesmo. Mas, pela idade que eu tinha 8 anos de idade, quase 9, eu escondi da minha avó, porque eu tive medo. A minha avó era uma pessoa do mal? Não. Uma pessoa agressiva? Não. Mas eu sempre fui uma pessoa muito medrosa. E eu tive medo do que aconteceria se eu contasse, tipo, de me levarem no médico, de eu ter que andar de ambulância. Eu tinha medo de várias coisas assim. O blush só aqui na massazinha, não aqui, pra não parecer uma palhaça, mas aqui em cima, perto das têmporas. E vamos subindo aqui, ó. Fazer um tchanzinho aqui. E a ideia é ir puxando pra cima, pra dar um puxandinho pra cima. Em algum momento específico, a minha avó viu que estava inchado, né, o meu quadril, e estava muito inchado. Eu era muito magrela, então estava extremamente desproporcional, assim. Fomos para o hospital, fizemos alguns exames e o diagnóstico foi que era uma massa. Não tinha exatamente uma definição nesse primeiro momento, era só uma massa. Eu fui num hospital aqui de Curitiba, chamado Hospital Evangélico, com um ortopedista específico, que eu não vou falar o nome porque ele não merece palco. Durante essa primeira cirurgia, aconteceu um erro médico e o médico cortou o nervo ciático da minha perna. Ah, mas por que que ele cortou? Ele é doido? Sim, mas naquele momento ele disse que era necessário porque o tumor, né, o nódulo, a massa, estava envolvida ali no nervo ciático da minha perna. E com isso, como consequência, eu perdi o movimento do meu pé e a sensibilidade. Então, eu comecei a usar muletas com 8 anos de idade e uso elas até hoje. E aí, o que aconteceu? Alguns meses depois, esse nódulo voltou. Não no meu quadril, mas atrás do meu joelho. Voltamos para o médico. Eu tinha feito biópsia e a biópsia deu o laudo de tumor de desmoide. O que que era isso naquela época, quando eu tinha 8 anos, há 20 anos atrás? Não tinha muitos casos no Brasil desse tumor e as pessoas não entendiam exatamente o que que ele fazia, como ele surgia, por que que ele crescia, ou, enfim, diversos fatores. E foi aí que eu comecei a virar uma cobainha. Então, todos os nódulos que saíam do meu corpo iam para estudo e meio que eu tinha que só ir arrancando conforme eles cresciam. E com o tempo, isso foi mastigando muito a minha perna. Eu fiz mais de 40 cirurgias. Foi um processo muito longo. Eu saí do hospital evangélico, acho que com 14 ou 15 anos, alguma coisa assim, eu não lembro. E por que que eu saí desse hospital? Porque em algum momento específico eu fui para alguma consulta, né? Já tinham acontecido várias coisas dentro desse período. Passei por diversos erros médicos dentro desse processo. Meu médico era um negligência, um ortopedista que cuida de um tumor que deveria ser cuidado por um oncologista. Então, já só aí já se autoexplica o caos que tudo foi. Agora eu vou vir pro pozinho. Eu adoro usar esse pozinho mais claro para a área dos olhos, por aquilo que eu já ensinei, né? Iluminar. Principalmente porque eu vou fazer fotos hoje. Então, eu tenho um pozinho solto e um pincelzão bem fofinho. Vou pegar bastante desse pozinho aqui e eu vou aplicar só aqui embaixo da área dos olhos, dos dois lados. Tá vendo que tá bem mais claro? É isso que eu gosto. Talvez o Frederico tenha lambido esse pincel, hein? Tá molhado. Dos dois. E vou pôr também um tequito aqui embaixo. Só pra dar uma marcadinha na mandíbula. Por conta da foto. Essa não é uma coisa que eu faço nas minhas maquiagens do dia a dia. Esse aqui embaixo. O dos olhos eu faço assim. Feito isso, eu vou deixar do jeito que tá e vou ir para a área dos olhos. Fui para a minha consulta do dia a dia normal, ali eu fazia um acompanhamento mensal. Chegando no hospital, entrei na sala do meu médico. Tinha outro médico no lugar do meu médico, que me olhou e disse: Olá, vamos fazer a sua amputação. Até então, eu nunca tinha ouvido a palavra amputação direcionada a mim. Então eu tive um choque muito grande no primeiro momento de como assim amputação? Porque na minha cabeça, se eu tinha tratado a perna por tantos anos e foi um tratamento bem dolorido, bem invasivo, Era como se eu tivesse sido boba aquele tempo todo. Então, por que que não fez a amputação antes? Dito isso, vamos fazer o olho. Eu tenho essa paletinha aqui, que ela é de correção de sobrancelha, na verdade, eu acho. Paleta de pó. Uma paletinha de pó. Eu gosto de usar ela aqui no olho. Eu gosto de fazer marronzinhos e tudo mais. Então, vamos fazer um marronzinho e tudo mais. Vou pegar esse pincelzinho aqui, que é um pincelzinho bem macio. Vou pegar esse marrom mais escuro que tem aqui. Pegar bastante. Dar uma batidinha na minha mão. E vamos vir aqui do final pra ponta. A gente vai marcar bem isso aqui pra ficar com um olhar mais profundo. Por conta das fotos. Eu uso um marrom mais clarinho pro dia a dia. Mas para as fotos, eu vou arriscar esse marrom mais escurinho, assim, para dar uma profundidade no olhar. Até porque eu tô quase sem cílios, porque eu fiz alongamento de cílios e eu arranquei num dia que me deu enxaqueca e eles ainda estão crescendo, olha, mas eles estão minúsculos. E aí, né, eu falei pra minha mãe que eu não queria mais ficar na sala daquele médico, que eu tava passando mal, que eu tava nervosa e tudo mais. A minha mãe me tirou da sala do médico. E eu falei pra ela que de forma alguma eu faria a amputação e que ela precisaria fazer alguma coisa porque eu não ia aceitar amputar. E foi aí que a saga toda começou, ou melhor, recomeçou. Nós fomos para muitos hospitais aqui de Curitiba, muitos. Não vou citar todos assim, mas fomos em vários hospitais a tentar para tentar uma segunda opinião do que daria para ser feito. E todos os hospitais que nós fomos, sugeriram a quimioterapia. A minha perna já estava com muitos nódulos, já tinham partes que estavam rasgadas, eu estava usando faixa no joelho porque sangrava, saía pus, era uma coisa horrorosa. E aí, vou passar agora esse marronzinho. Esse aqui mais escuro também vai entrar aqui no cantinho, mas eu não vou espalhar ele bem pra cá, vai ficar só no cantinho. Que foi, Bart? Vocês conseguem ver?
My child, I am asking you with all the weight of heaven behind my words. Do not turn away from this moment. Do not let your eyes grow heavy, and do not walk away before I have finished speaking. I know you are tired. I know you have heard many promises before, and I know how long you have waited until even hope itself began to feel like a burden. But you cannot skip this. What I am about to speak into your life is too important to miss. Something is happening around you right now that you cannot yet see. Two things are moving toward you at the same time. One is the answer you have been crying out for in the early hours when no one could hear you. The other is a danger quiet and unexpected that has been forming at the edges of your life. I am speaking now because of both. If you stay with me, you will receive the one and be guarded from the other. This is not a small matter. I am not talking about an ordinary blessing, the kind that comes and goes with the seasons. I am talking about the one you have been asking for, the one you have carried in your chest like a stone, the one you stopped mentioning out loud because it hurt too much to keep saying it. Hear me clearly, that answer is not lost. It has not been forgotten on some high shelf of heaven. I have been holding it, and I have been arranging every detail around it, every circumstance, every person, every open door, so that when it arrives, nothing can take it from you. The timing was never careless, it was exact, but I need something from you in this hour. I need your attention. I need your faith to be awake, not drowsy, not half-hearted, not divided between 100 worries. An answer that is not received with faith passes by, like rain on hard ground. It falls, but nothing grows. I do not want that for you. I want the ground of your heart soft and ready. The enemy of your soul understands what is at stake tonight. He sees what stands ready in the unseen world, and it terrifies him. That is why your mind keeps wandering. That is why sleep is pulling at you. That is why a voice inside keeps whispering that this can wait until tomorrow, that nothing will change, that you have heard it all before. That voice is not mine. I tell you the truth. There is a moment appointed for this word, and the moment is now. Not because my power fades tomorrow. My power fades never. But there are hours when heaven leans close to a single life, and this is one of those hours for you. Miss it, and you will still be loved, still be mine. But you will have walked past an open door without knowing it was open. If your faith is awake right now and you refuse to let this hour pass you by, like this message before you read on. Subscribe so my voice can keep finding you in the hours that matter most, and type "I am awake" in the comments, so heaven knows you did not sleep through this one. Think back over your life for a moment. Remember the times you almost gave up, but something you could not name held you in place. Remember the nights you decided it was over and morning came anyway, and you rose anyway. Remember the moments you should have fallen and did not fall. That was not luck. That was my hand. Every one of those moments was a thread pulling you toward this one. You did not find this message by accident. I led you here. I stirred something in you before you understood what you were reaching for, and I set this hour aside long before you knew you would need it. When you felt yourself at the very end of your strength, I was already preparing what I would say to you now, so let the disappointments of the past step aside. They are real, and I do not dismiss them. You believed before, and felt nothing change. You hoped before, and watched the hope come back empty. I know, but do not let yesterday's closed doors convince you that every door is closed. The wounds of the past make poor prophets. They only know how to predict more of the same, and they are wrong about what is coming. I see the exhaustion behind your eyes. I see how heavy your heart has grown from carrying questions no one could answer. You have prayed and fasted and wept, and it seemed the sky was silent. You have asked in secret, "Is any of this real? Will anything ever actually change for me?" And I answer you now with all the authority of my throne. Yes, it is real. Yes, it is worth it. Yes, something is about to change. There is a reason you feel the way you feel, and I will show it to you before this word is finished. The heaviness you carry is not weakness, and it is not proof that you have been abandoned. Some of it is the weight of a long road. Some of it is a warning I have been sounding inside you, a signal you have not yet learned to read tonight. I will teach you to read it. Stay with me then. Keep your heart open and your spirit still in the moments ahead. I will show you what I have been doing in secret while you thought nothing was happening. I will show you why certain prayers seem to go unanswered. I will name the barriers that have stood between you and what I prepared, and I will break them. And I will warn you plainly and in love about what is quietly approaching, so that it never touches you. You are not here to be entertained. You are here because I called you one soul by name into a meeting I arranged. Heaven is not speaking to a crowd right now. Heaven is speaking to you. Let that settle over you like a covering. Let it quiet the noise in your mind. The answer is closer than it has ever been. The warning has come in time. Nothing about this hour is random, and nothing about it will be wasted if you remain. Declare your Amen right now if your heart is awake and ready to receive. Now, let me show you what you could not see while you were living your days, facing your battles, and holding yourself together in front of people who never guessed how hard it was. I was working, not resting, not delaying, working behind the curtain of the visible world. I was moving piece after piece into position so that at the right moment everything would align for you at once. I have been moving people. The help you need is already alive, already walking the earth, already carrying the answer that belongs to your situation. You have not met them yet, but I have been steering their steps and yours toward a single crossing point. The right person, the right place, the right hour. When your paths meet, you will call it chance. It will not be chance. I have been loosening provision. Resources that sat locked for years are being released. Streams of supply you never knew existed are being turned toward you. You will receive from directions that make no earthly sense, and you will know it was my hand because no other explanation will survive. I am the God who brings water out of rock. Lack does not intimidate me. I have been changing circumstances that looked permanent. Problems that outlasted your prayers. Situations so old you stopped bringing them to me. Doors that stayed shut for years, no matter how you knocked. I am dealing with them now. Some of what changes will change so quickly that you will hardly have time to be amazed before the next change arrives. And I have set my messengers around you, mighty ones sent from my throne, with orders that concern you by name. They do not sleep, they are not distracted. They fight battles in the unseen world that you will never have to know about, removing obstacles you never saw, closing off paths that would have harmed you, holding open the way I have chosen. Let me tell you what stands ready in the unseen world at this very hour. There are decrees written and sealed, orders from my throne that overturn impossible situations. And your name is on them. Your turnaround is not an idea I am considering. It is a command I have already given, waiting for the appointed moment of delivery. There is provision measured out and held in trust, enough for the need you pray about and more beyond it. There is healing prepared, restoration for what is worn and wounded in you, the kind of mending that reaches places no physician can reach. There are keys cut for doors that have refused you for years, doors of opportunity, doors of relationship, doors of purpose. When those doors open, no one will be able to shut them. There are chains lying broken that once held you, chains of fear, of heaviness, of habits that kept circling back. In the unseen world, they are already snapped. What remains is for you to feel that freedom arrive in your days, in your body, in your mind, and you will feel it. And there is a robe, a new identity, dignity in place of shame. So you can stand as a child of the King and not as a beggar at the gate. All of this stands ready. So you may ask, why has it not come sooner? Hear this carefully, because I will not answer you with easy sayings. The timing was never about your worth. It was about position. The person who will open the first door for you was not yet standing where they needed to stand. The resource that will carry you was not yet loosed from the hands that held it. Certain doors could not open for you, until other doors, ones you will never know about, had quietly closed. A harvest gathered before its time rots in the storehouse. A foundation loaded before it sets cracks under the weight. I do not insult you by pretending the long wait did not cost you anything. It cost you. I watched what it cost you. And I did not look away, but I would not hand you something built to last a lifetime one day before it could stand. I do not move by the clocks of men. I move by the calendar of heaven. And on that calendar, your moment is not overdue. It is exact. Not one day early when the pieces were still scattered. Not one day late when your heart might have hardened past receiving now. So understand what kind of moment you are standing in. The people are in place. The provision is loosed. The decrees are sealed. The messengers are positioned. The doors are unlocked. Heaven has done its part. And heaven waits on one thing only, a heart open enough to receive what has been prepared. This is why the pull to walk away has been so strong tonight. This is why distraction after distraction has clawed at your attention. Nothing fights this hard against an empty room. The resistance you feel is itself a witness that something real is at stake. Do not harden yourself against hope, because hope has hurt you before. I know the reflex. You brace against believing so the fall will be shorter. But you cannot brace and receive at the same time. Open hands cannot make fists. I am asking you to open your hands. You have spent years asking me to move. I am telling you tonight, I have moved. I am moving now. The question of this hour is no longer whether I will act. The question is whether you will stand in the place where my action lands awake. Believing with your face toward me, remain in that place. Do not drift. In a little while, I will show you the hidden things that have blocked your receiving, and I will deal with each one. But first, let your spirit answer heaven. Say, I believe out loud if this word is reaching the deep places of your spirit. Now I want to answer the question you have carried the longest. You have wondered whether
I believe. I believe.
your prayers ever reached me at all. You prayed in the dark when sleep would not come. You prayed behind a locked door so no one would hear your voice break. You prayed on lonely roads in whispers, in half-finished sentences, in silence when words ran out. My child, not one of those prayers fell short of my throne. Not one. The prayers you were ashamed of, the angry ones, the doubting ones, the ones that were more groan than speech. Those reached me too. I did not grade them. I received them. A parent does not turn away a child because the child cried instead of speaking properly. I heard everything underneath your words. Even the things you could not bring yourself to say. But you have asked. If you heard me, why did you not answer? Hear me now. I answered every prayer. What I did not always do was answer in the shape you expected or on the day you circled in your heart. And so some of my answers passed by you unrecognized, like a friend in unfamiliar clothes. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission will grow into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Giving to this work through the link in the description and the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community.
Really? Really?
does not just go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. Heaven moves through willing.
How am I going to do that? I'm not even like, what are we talking about right here? You know, the doors that are closed, the difficulties that shows that I'm the broke one. Actually, I'm the one needing help here. So,
Voices, but it grows through hearts that are kind. You prayed for that position, and it went to another, and the refusal stung you. But I saw where that road led. It would have paid you in silver and cost you in things. Silver cannot buy back. I turned you from it because I have work for you that will not grind you down to earn your bread. What I have prepared will meet you at the right hour, and you will understand then why every other door stayed shut. You prayed for that relationship, and it came apart, and you carried the rejection like a wound that would not close. But I saw what you could not see from inside it. I saw who that person would become to you in 5 years. In 10, my love for you would not let you build a life on that ground. The loneliness that followed was bitter, I know, but bitter medicine is still medicine. You prayed for healing, and the sickness lingered, and you began to wonder whether I had the power or simply did not care. I have the power. I do care. And restoration is moving toward you in the body, and deeper than the body. Some mending I do in a moment, and some I do the way spring thaws a frozen field. Slowly, thoroughly past all argument, yours is coming. Do not let its pace convince you of its absence. You prayed for provision, and the numbers would not add up, and you sat with your accounts and your fear in the small hours. I watched you carry that weight, and I never once carried it lightly myself. But I was teaching you where your security lives, not in a sum, not in a harvest that can fail in me. The one who learns that lesson can be trusted with plenty, because plenty will never own them. My child, I am asking you to place a portion of what you have, something of real weight, upon the altar of this work, as gold laid on the scales of this calling. Let it be a seed sown into deep water, an offering set on stone, not held back in fear. This is proof that your trust rests in my hand to provide, and that your heart no longer clings to lack. What you release in faith does not leave your life. It moves ahead of you into the harvest I am preparing. Now let your heart rest here for a moment, because I am not finished explaining. There is a difference between a prayer denied and a prayer held. Most of yours were held the way a wise father holds a letter until the child is old enough to read it, held the way rain is held in the cloud until the seed is actually in the ground. Nothing you asked in faith was thrown away. It was kept. And what was kept is now being released. Think of Joseph in the pit. Then in the prison, year after year, his life read like a story of a man forgotten. Yet every one of those years, I was moving him closer to the palace, not further from it. The road made no sense until the day it suddenly made perfect sense. Your road is of the same kind. It will make sense all at once. And soon think of Hannah, who wept in the temple year after year with empty arms. Those around her misread her sorrow, and even the priest misjudged her at first. All at once. And soon think of Hannah, who wept in the temple year after year with empty arms. Those around her misread her sorrow, and even the priest misjudged her at first. But her prayer had been heard from the beginning, and when the answer came, it was not merely a child. It was a prophet who would anoint kings. What I hold back, I return with interest. So do not measure my love by the length of your waiting. Measure it by this. You are still standing. The thing that should have broken you did not break you. The years that should have emptied you did not empty you, not completely. Or you would not be here now, listening, with something in your chest still daring to hope. I preserve that ember. I would not let it go out. And understand this also. The silence you endured was never absence. I was closer in those nights than you have ever known. When you spoke into the dark and heard nothing, I was nearer than the dark. There are seasons when I keep silence. The way a physician keeps still hands steady, not because he feels nothing, but because the work is delicate, and he will not slip. That season is closing. The held answers are being released, one after another, in an order I have chosen, so that each one strengthens you to receive the next. What comes first will steady you. What comes after will amaze you, if you believe I was nearer than the dark in your hardest nights. Like this message, as your way of saying thank you for staying close. Subscribe so you never miss the next answer as it is released to you. And type "I receive it" in the comments, so that what I am releasing tonight has somewhere to land. And what comes last you would not believe tonight if I told you plainly. So I will let it speak for itself when it arrives. But before any of it can rest in your hands, something in the way must come down. There are barriers, old ones, that have stood between you and what I prepared. You did not build them all yourself, but they stand in you nonetheless. In a moment, I will name them one by one, and then I will break them. Because naming and breaking are two different mercies. And tonight, you will receive both. Listen closely now, because I am about to show you why some who stand this close to their answer still walk away without it. The blessing can be ready, the hour can be right, and still a barrier inside the heart can hold everything at the door. I will not let that happen to you, so I will name each barrier plainly. 1. The first barrier is doubt. Doubt is a wall built one question at a time. Is this real? Would it work for someone like me? Does he even see me? Each question laid like a brick year after year, until the wall stands so high you cannot see over it. The answer waits on one side, you stand on the other, and the wall pretends to be wisdom. The second barrier is unbelief, and it is not the same as doubt. Doubt asks questions. Unbelief has stopped asking. Unbelief says flatly, "This is for other people, it works for them, never for me. I tried once and I know how it ends." When you speak that way, you are not protecting yourself from disappointment. You are sending the answer away at the gate. The third barrier is fear. The fear of hoping again. You have been let down, and now hope itself feels dangerous, like a ledge you once fell from. So you keep your expectations low and call it being realistic. But hear me. That fear has never once protected you from pain. It has only made sure that when the blessing came near, your hands were already closed. Fear is not a shield. It is a lock, and you are on the wrong side of it. The fourth barrier is passivity. There are those who want the blessing but will not rise to meet it. They wait the way a stone waits, wishing without asking, wanting without declaring, hungry but never reaching for the bread. My kingdom does not move for the passive. It moves for the ones who knock until the door opens, who reach for the hem of the garment, who call out even when the crowd tells them to be quiet. The fifth barrier is distraction. Of all five, this one has grown strongest in your generation. The enemy has learned that he does not need to destroy you if he can simply keep you occupied. Scattered attention receives nothing. Not because heaven withholds, but because the moment of receiving needs a heart that is present. Even tonight he has tried again and again to pull your mind elsewhere. Notice that it tells you what he fears. Now, my child, I will not name these barriers and leave them standing. Naming was mercy. Breaking is greater mercy. So receive what I do now. I break the barrier of doubt. Every
São 16 horas.
of every unanswered question, I pull it down. In place of that wall, I set certainty. Not the certainty that you will never suffer, but the certainty that you are seen, held, and not forgotten. From this night, when the old questions rise, they will find the wall gone, and my voice standing where it stood. I break the barrier of unbelief. The lie that said this is for others